July 29, 2019. This is Judge Wish, Courtroom 1, Session 1. Can I have the parties announce themselves for the record, please?
Happy Kennedy Swanson on behalf of the Office of the State Attorney.
Morning, Your Honor. Cody Jordan with the Public Defender's Office.
Your Honor, Miss Moulton is refusal.
Okay. Let's see. We're going to handle her anyway. So in 2019, MM 6279AO, Miss Moulton is a refusal. I'm going to appoint the Public Defender's Office to represent her. Mr. Jordan, do you want to waive her appearance even though she's waived her own appearance?
Yes, Your Honor. I'll waive her appearance as for initial appearance.
Okay, so she's not to, I do find probable cause for petty theft and resisting without violence. And she's not to return back to the 7-Eleven at 938 West Colonial Drive. She's not to have contact with any victim or witness, and she's to abide by the trespass warnings. And I'm gonna stay the bond at 500 on count 1 and 100 on count 2.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right, please tell me your name.
Jacqueline Pacheco.
All right, Ms. Pacheco, you're here in 2019 MM 6277AO. You were arrested for trespass on property after warning. I do find probable cause. I'm gonna appoint the Public Defender's Office to represent you. Was there an offer for Ms. Pacheco if she wanted?
Adjudication, sorry, Your Honor.
Oh.
Adjudication credit for time served of 2 days, no return.
And I would have to impose court costs. I'd give you a year to pay him off if you wanna accept the offer.
I believe this is Panera Bread she can't return to.
Sorry?
Panera Bread.
Yeah.
No.
Your Honor, after speaking with my client, she does wish to accept the offer and enter a plea of no contest.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thanks. Morning. All right, Ms. Pacheco, I'm showing you this plea form. Is this your signature at the bottom?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand everything that's contained within the plea form?
Mhm.
Is that a yes?
Yes.
Do you understand all the rights you're giving up by entering the plea? Is that a yes?
Yes.
All right. Are you on probation, ma'am?
No, ma'am.
All right. Do you understand if you're not a U.S. citizen, this plea will subject you to deportation? Is that a yes? Do you understand?
Yes.
Okay. All right, I do find a factual basis based on the affidavit in the court file to accept your plea. I am gonna adjudicate you guilty, sentence you to 2 days in the Orange County Jail with credit for 2 days' time served. Can't go back to the Panera Bread at 3138 South Orange Avenue. You must abide by all trespass warnings. I do have to impose court costs. I'm gonna order you pay those by July 29, 2020. That gives you a year to pay them off. If you want to appeal the judgment and sentence of the court, you must do so in writing within 30 days. If you cannot afford an attorney, one will be appointed for you, ma'am. Okay? Good luck to you.
Thank you.
All right, sir, please tell me your name.
Robert Eugene Johnson.
All right, do we know Kari?
Mr. Corey's behavior, Your Honor.
Okay. We'll reset Mr. Kari. All right, Mr. Johnson.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, you're here in 2019 CF 10739AO. You were arrested for possession of MDMA. And I do find probable cause. You did not fill out a form for the public defender, or did you?
Yes, ma'am.
You
Just
did?
now when I
Okay,
came in.
all right. Do we have, oh, the form. I'm gonna appoint the Public Defender's Office to represent you. And you can't possess or consume any illegal substances without a valid prescription. I'm not sure why the bond, unless they, well, I think there's evidence that there was an intent to sell based on the affidavit, but the officer, unless the charge It's just inputted incorrectly.
Try to bump the bar up.
893.131A. There's no indication that of any specific charge in the affidavit. So I'm a little confused, but. State, did you have any argument? Because there's
Your
no.
Honor, standard bond is fine.
Okay. So, Mr. Johnson, you're out on release
Yes, ma'am.
for cocaine and possession of counterfeit driver's licenses. And so I'm gonna set your bond, in this case, at $5,000. I'm not gonna take any action on your out on bond case.
Yes, ma'am.
Today's your lucky day.
Thank you.
But if I see you again, I won't hesitate to do it, okay?
I know you won't, ma'am. I appreciate you. Thank you very much.
So, I'm not gonna take any action. You're not to possess or consume any illegal substances without a valid prescription. Your bond is set at $5,000,
Thank you very much,
all
Your Honor.
right?
Thank you, Your Honor. Sir.
No, there's CC for what they charged as. My belief is that he intended to charge it as possession with intent, because that's the bond that he put it in there, but there's no indication in the affidavit that that's
The intent.
what he intended to do. All right, please tell me your name.
Jose Sanchez.
All right, Mr. Sanchez, you're here in 2019 CF 4241AO. You're arrested pursuant to a capias for failing to appear for your case management conference on July 8, 2019. The judge in that case revoked your release and set your bond at none on each case. Did you have the PD in that case? You do have the public defender's office, and they can file any appropriate motions with regards to bond for you.
We can't settle bond today, but I will be in contact with the defender as soon as possible, let them know you've been picked up, because they need to get a hearing in front of your judge. For them.
All right, please tell me your name, sir.
Carlos Thompson.
All right, so you're here in 19 MO 1372. You arrested for an open container violation. I do find probable cause. You did not fill out a form for the public defender. Did you want to see if the state had an offer for you? You don't want to resolve your case today?
Yeah, I do.
You do? Okay. Let's see if,
Withhold credit for time served of 2 days.
so it's a withhold credit for time served, meaning it's not a formal conviction, okay? And I would have to impose court costs, and I'd give you a year to pay him off. Thank you. All right. Is your last name Carlos or Thompson?
Thompson.
Thompson? Okay. All right, Mr. Thompson, do you want to plead no contest? Just means that you're entering a plea in your best interest. Is that a yes? I need you to speak out
Yes,
loud
ma'am.
because we're being recorded, so all your answers have to be verbal, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, did you understand everything that's contained within the plea form?
Yes, ma'am.
Is
I
this your
do.
signature at the bottom of it?
Yes, it is.
Okay. Did you understand all the rights that you're giving up by entering the plea?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you on probation anywhere?
No, ma'am.
Do you understand if you're not a U.S. citizen, the plea will subject you to deportation?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. I do find a factual basis for acceptance of the plea based on the affidavit. I'm gonna withhold adjudication, sentence you to 2 days in the Orange County Jail with credit for 2 days' time served. I do have to impose court costs. I'm gonna order you pay those by July 29th, 2020, okay?
Yes,
If
ma'am.
you'd like to appeal the judgment and sentence of the court, you must do so in writing within 30 days. If you cannot afford an attorney, one will be appointed for you, sir.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, good luck to you. All right, please tell me your name, sir.
Stephen Haddon.
All right, Mr. Haddon, how are you today?
Good.
It's, you're here in 2019 MO 13740. You were arrested for disorderly conduct. I do find probable cause. I am gonna appoint the public defender's office. Was there an offer for Mr. Haddon?
Adjudication 5 days, credit for 2.
Right, and I'd have to impose court costs, as you know. You wanna accept the offer, Mr. Haddon?
I accept offer.
Okay.
This will be an acceptance, plea of no contest.
No contest.
Okay. Thank you. All right, Mr. Haddon, I'm showing you this plea form. Is this your signature at the bottom?
Yeah.
Did you understand everything that's contained within the plea form?
Oh, yeah.
Do you understand all the rights you're giving up by entering the plea?
Yeah.
Are you on probation anywhere?
No.
Okay, you understand if you're not a U.S. citizen, this plea will subject you to deportation?
Yeah.
Okay. I do find a factual basis for acceptance of the plea based on the affidavit in the court file. I am gonna adjudicate you guilty, sentence you to 5 days in the Orange County Jail with credit for 2 days' time served. I do have to impose court costs. I'm gonna order that you pay those by July 29th, 2020. If you'd like to appeal the judgment and sentence of the court, you must do so in writing within 30 days. If you cannot afford an attorney, one will be appointed for you, sir. Okay? Good luck to you. All right, please tell me your name, sir.
Your name?
Derek, last name Marslock, M-A-R-Z-L-O-C-K.
Thanks, Mr. Marslock. You're here in 2019 MO 1376. You were arrested for sitting or lying on the sidewalks in the downtown core district. I do find probable cause. You did not fill out a form for the public defender. Did you want to try and resolve your case today?
Yeah.
Okay. Is there an offer for Mr.
Adjudication, I'm
Marslock?
sorry. Adjudication credit for time served of 2 days.
And then I would have to impose court costs, and I'll give you a year to pay them off if you want to accept the offer.
Okay.
You want to take it?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay.
You get out today. All right, sir.
Plead no contest, please.
That's what you're going to do.
No. Thank you. All right, Mr. Marslock, do you want to plea no contest?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, I'm showing you this plea form. Is this your signature at the bottom?
Yeah, it looks like the exact same paper.
It is.
Okay.
Okay. Did you understand everything that's contained within the plea form?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you understand all the rights that you're giving up by entering the plea?
Yes.
Are you on probation anywhere?
No.
Do you understand if you're not a U.S. citizen, the plea will subject you to deportation?
Yeah, I'm a U.S. citizen,
Okay.
100%.
Okay,
No.
do you understand?
Yes.
You're not? Okay. All right, I do find a factual basis for acceptance of the plea based on the affidavit in the court file. I am gonna adjudicate you guilty, sentence you to 2 days in the Orange County Jail with credit for 2 days' time served. I do have to impose court costs. I'm gonna order you pay those by July 19th, or excuse me, 29th, 2020. If you
Okay.
want to appeal the judgment and sentence of the court, you must do so in writing within 30 days. If you cannot afford an attorney, one will be appointed for you, okay? Good luck
Okay.
to you.
Yep.
All right, please tell me your name, sir.
Your name, sir. Your name.
Are you Mr.
Thompson Hardiman.
Hardiman? Okay. Mr. Hardiman, you're picked up on an out-of-county warrant out of Brevard County. That's case, oh,
He has some
okay, sure.
issues here.
Yeah. All right, Mr. Hardiman, can you hear me now?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. All right, you're here. It looks like you were picked up for out-of-county warrants. They're for the same case, but there's different types of warrants. So in 2019, MM 31126, they're both, all the warrants are out of that case, out of Brevard County, and your bond on each, warrant or count is set at none. And so pursuant to our admin order, Brevard County has 24 hours to come and pick you up. If they don't, then you'll come back before me, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
All right?
Okay.
It says none on the front page, unless it's different and they filled it out wrong. Well, okay, now I look at the teletype. It says bond 500, is that right? Each one, I think, is 500, and then in the second, it's the same case, but it's different bonds. That one is 3 counts. So it's very confusing to me. How do you all have it in there?
It's 500 for each.
So on,
Two blanket bonds of 500.
and then there's 3 bonds on the next case. It's the same case, but there's 3 bonds on that case. Cause I have 2 sets of paperwork too. So it looks like there's 3 failures to appear on one of them, and then the other one is a violation of, it says VOCS trespass on, and then a possession of drug paraphernalia.
For TTY, it's a blanket bond of 500, I think for each. 3 counts of $500.
Okay, cause there's 2 here, and then there's 3 on a different page. Do you see what I'm saying?
Yes, but they're showing that the bond for each one is just $500. Like
On each count, so
On
it's
each.
5
On each case,
on each case.
yes.
Okay, I don't know how that works.
They call it, they're saying it's a blanket bond.
Okay, so,
That's what I have.
so the bond is 1,000 total?
Yes,
Okay, so it looks like your bond is 1,000 total, is what I'm being told. So if you can bond out, then you can bond out. If not, you'll come back before me if Brevard hasn't come and pick you up in the time, okay?
Yes, ma'am. I thought they
Okay.
dropped the charges.
It's
I didn't know.
confusing, so I don't know.
And we don't even know that.
I don't know.
I do, and I wouldn't know that, yeah,
Thank you.
okay?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, so we don't have any more information.
Yeah, that one was a confusing one. Doesn't make any sense.
Good morning.
Morning, can you tell me your name, sir?
Nicholas Brown.
All right, Mr. Brown, you're here in 2019 CF 10418AO, and you're here for, I believe, a determination of counsel. And you filled out a PD form, so I am gonna appoint the public defender's office to represent you, okay? Everything else stays the same. Okay?
Sir, I'm gonna give you some information just in case. Now that the PD's been appointed to your case. Do you have any questions?
And state does object on Mr. Smith's
Okay.
bond
Just
motion.
pulling up the case.
Mr. Jordan, have you seen his criminal history?
Yes.
Okay.
All right, are you Gary Smith?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, Mr. Smith, you're here in 2019 MM 6064AO, and your attorneys have filed a motion for non-monetary release conditions. And it looks as though you're charged with possession of drug paraphernalia, and you're at this time, okay. So, Mr. Jordan, well, before we go anywhere, does he have any failures to appear?
Yes, Your Honor.
Yes, Your Honor. According to, I have 11 failures to appear, with the last in December of 2017.
Okay, Mr. Jordan, it's your motion.
Your Honor, I'd like to start with testimony from the defendant.
All right, well, please raise your right hand. We'll have you sworn in, sir.
Do you swear to tell the truth, whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, ma'am.
Sir, could you please start by telling the court your name?
My name is Gary Bruce Smith.
Mr. Smith, how long have you lived in Orlando?
All of my life, sir.
Are you a Army veteran?
Yes, sir, I am.
Sir, can you currently afford to pay your bond?
Well, I can't afford to pay my bond because I don't have my debit card, sir. My wallet was stolen. I was homeless at the time, and my wallet was stolen, so I don't have any identification or a debit card, so
Sir, if you were released, where would you be staying?
I would have to stay at a homeless shelter, sir.
The Orlando Rescue Mission?
Yes, sir.
And that's all the questions I have right now, Your Honor.
State has no questions, Your Honor.
Okay, I mean, so he
So,
can't
Your
afford
Honor,
any bond, is that what you're telling me?
cannot
You haven't
afford
told
any
me
bond right
If he's reached
now.
out to anybody, if there's been any, he has any family, local family that he's reached out to or had any
believe-
contact with?
There's been no testimony to contradict the fact that he stated he cannot afford his bond.
Right, but does he have family? Do you have family here, Mr. Smith?
Yes, I have family, but they're not in a position to bond me out
Okay,
at this time.
who do you have locally around?
It's my brother, my youngest brother, who it is.
What does he do?
He works for the city of Orlando, sir.
Okay, and do you
Ma'am.
have contact with him?
If I can call on the phone, get in contact, I can get in contact
Have
with
you
him.
tried to do that?
Yes, but I've tried to get in contact with him, but he explained to me that he wasn't in a position to be able to bond me out.
Okay.
Anything at this time, ma'am.
All right, okay, all right. Did you have any argument?
Yes, Your Honor. This man is currently staying in the jail due to his inability to pay bond, and he does suffer from PTSD. He's a military veteran, and he's not receiving the services he needs while in the jail. If he was released, he would be able to obtain the proper medical service that he is entitled to as a veteran, as well as we are working with him in our social services department to assist him when he is released in order to acquire both a job and a bus pass for
Miss-
transportation.
Mr. Smith, what kind of medications do you take?
Lisinopril, ma'am.
Okay, and they're not, you have requested it from the jail and they're not giving it to you?
At this time, ma'am, they are giving me some medication at the jail at this time, ma'am.
So you are getting the
the-
medication?
Yes, ma'am. The lisinopril is for high blood pressure.
Okay, so the medication is for high blood pressure, not for PTSD?
Yes, it's for high blood pressure, but them not receiving the one for post-traumatic stress disorder
What
at
is,
this time.
what is it that you receive for that?
Gabapentin?
Gabapentin?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, I'm familiar with gabapentin, okay. And so you've requested that and they're not giving it to you?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, and gabapentin is for pain.
Okay. Well, the one that they're supposed to give me for post-traumatic stress,
Okay,
don't know.
that's, I mean, because gabapentin, I have multiple sclerosis and I understand what gabapentin is
Right.
for. So, is there any other medications that you're not receiving for the PTSD?
not that I know of, ma'am, the
Okay.
name, not that I know.
Is there any other argument that you have, Mr. Jordan?
No, that's all the
Okay.
defense has.
Do we have any history other than just the failures to appear? When the
Excuse me, ma'am?
last conviction
She's
was?
asking the courts, yeah. So-
His last conviction was July of this year for camping and state misdemeanors. He has 14 felonies, 21 misdemeanors, 5 DOC visits.
Okay. State, do you have any argument? I know you didn't have any questions, but,
The concern would be the number of failures to appear, not just the convictions, Your Honor, is that, is he going to show back up for a future court date? And that's the state's concern at this point.
okay. And obviously, he was arrested not that long ago, so my guess is that the state hasn't made a charging decision
Correct.
in 10 days. So, I mean, Mr. Jordan, based on his 11 failures to appear, his prior history just this month, and I know what gabapentin is for. I don't know if they use it for PTSD, but I know what they do use it for. It's pain medication.
And the
So
one
if he's
the one
getting
that I
his
was
blood
trying-
pressure medication, my guess is if he needs medication for pain, he can get that. I don't know if he has been evaluated by the jail for PTSD and if there's medication that he's receiving. Yes, Mr. Smith?
The medication that I was trying to recall when you asked me, when I expressed that it was gabapentin, it wasn't gabapentin, it's a Dilantin is the one.
Dilantin, okay, and have you requested that from the jail and they've told you that they will not provide that to you?
They haven't said that they would not, they just haven't done it at this particular
Okay.
time.
All right, Mr. Jordan, unless there's any other further argument from either party.
Your Honor, I believe one of the issues with his failure to appear is he is homeless and transportation has been an issue. With social services working with him to get him a bus pass, I believe that might solve
Okay.
much of the
But
issue with his failure to
you
appear
don't
and
have
failure
that
to get
yet,
to court.
do
Not
you?
yet, Your Honor.
Okay.
He's currently incarcerated.
Okay, all right. Based on the prior failures to appear and recent history, and that he has requested one medication, is receiving one medication, has not requested the other medication that he needs to get, and it's possible they'll give it to him, and that he hasn't been accepted into the programs that you're looking to help him get into or so that he can attend future court dates. My concern is, like, as the state is saying, him getting to court, and that's the basis for the bond. So, I am gonna deny the bond motion at this time. You can file it again if you have additional information.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right, thank you. All right, please tell me your name.
Jesus Barones.
All right, Mr. Bronis. You're here in 2019 CF 10789. You were arrested for pursuant to a warrant in which probable cause was found for robbery with a firearm. And they're advising me that you don't qualify for the public defender's office. So let me make sure this is correct. Do you work, sir?
Yes, ma'am.
Where do you work?
I do plumbing at KJR Plumbing Inc.
Okay, and then do you get paid weekly, bi-weekly, or monthly?
Weekly.
And then how much do you get paid weekly after taxes?
I do piecework, so it's anywhere from like 800 to 1,300.
Okay, do you have any children?
No, ma'am.
Okay, so you're not gonna qualify at this time. However, this is a punishable by life felony and I can hold you at no bond. So I am gonna appoint the public defender's office to represent you. And state, did you want to be heard as to bond?
Yes, Your Honor. The victim, Michael, advised that he was selling watches on OfferUp. He had been texting a male who later identified himself as Jesus about who was interested in one of the watches. While they met up to discuss one of the watches, two other Hispanic males approached him. One brandished a firearm. The victim, as he got onto the ground, they took the watch as well as the car keys. The victim was able to see what vehicle they escaped in, which is a black Dodge Challenger with partial of a license plate. Law enforcement later on was able to stop this Challenger with 3 Hispanic males inside. In the vehicle, once the 3 were detained, were Rolexes, boxes, backpacks, 2 phones, iPhones, drugs. It was the vehicle that matched the description given by the victim. A photo lineup was placed where this defendant's picture was placed in it. The victim was able to identify this defendant as the one that he was texting back and forth and approached him that day. Based on that, Your Honor, we believe the defendant should be held at no bond, no contact with the victim, no weapons, no firearms, no contact with any of the co-defendants as well, Your Honor.
All right, Mr. Jordan, any
Your Honor,
argument?
we would defer to the court at this time. I believe this is better handled downtown.
Okay, so I do find proof evident presumption great based on everything that is in the arrest affidavit. And I am gonna hold, Mr. Brunei at no bond. He's not to have any contact with any victim, witness, or co-defendant. He's not to possess any weapons, any firearms, any ammunition. He's not to return back to 13330 Mallard Cove Boulevard.
Thank you.
All right, please tell me your name, sir.
Good morning, Your Honor. My name is Leonardo Sadena.
All right, Mr. Sadena. You're here in 2019 CF 10754AO. You are arrested for grand theft 3rd degree of a motor vehicle. I do find probable cause. I am going to appoint the public defender's office to represent you.
Okay.
All right, you're not to have any contact with any listed victim or witness in the case. I'm going to place you in the pretrial release program. You need to make sure that you comply with all of those requirements, okay?
Yes, Your Honor.
Don't miss court, keep in touch with your attorneys, and follow all of their requirements, okay?
Sure. Yes.
All right, if you don't, they can tell me or another judge, and we can revoke your release and hold you no bond, and I don't think you want that to happen.
All right. Thank you, Your Honor. Have a
All
wonderful
right,
day.
You too. All right, please tell me your name, ma'am.
Chandrika Conyers.
All right, Ms. Conyers, you're here in 2019 CF 10764AO. You're arrested for burglary of a dwelling and criminal mischief.
Your
I
Honor.
do,
I have spoken with the state prior. I did have issue with this case. After re-reviewing the police report, it does seem that there is not enough information in the report to determine probable cause, given the fact that it does not say where Ms. Connors was arrested, whether she was in the home, what intent was present. It gives very little information, and the only statement which would lead to believe that she did commit the offense was the conclusionary statement of, "I have probable cause to charge her with the offense," which I do not believe is in itself probable cause.
so you're saying where she was located? I mean, I see the burglary is that the window smashed.
It
and
mentions
there's
the
a-
burglary, it mentions the house, it mentions the victim, but how
They get
the
to her.
defendant is related to that
Right.
situation is only found in the conclusionary statement.
Yeah. State,
State will request 24 hours.
okay. So I'm gonna give the state the 24 hours that they need to provide the court with additional, probable cause documentation. As to both counts, the bonds will stay set as they are currently. And in case she does bond out, there's no contact with any victim or witness in the case. No return back to 912 Bentley Street. And we'll reset that one for tomorrow. Ms. Conyers, if you're able to bond out, you can still bond out, okay?
Thank you so much.
All right?
It's 5,000. Then we're gonna get to it tomorrow when he gives us more.
Okay.
All right, please tell me your name, sir.
Lucas Goncalves, Your Honor.
Mr. Goncalves, you're here in 2019 CF 10792. You were arrested for possession of a controlled substance with a weapon and possession of cannabis more than 20 grams. I do find probable cause. I am going to appoint the Public Defender's Office to represent you. You're not to possess or consume any illegal substances without a valid prescription. You're not to possess any weapons or firearms or ammunition. And you're not to have any contact with the co-defendant in the case. Or any co-defendant, excuse me, there's two other individuals in the vehicle. So I'm gonna stay the bond at the 15,000 on count one, 150 on count two.
Your Honor, I believe they live together. This was a search warrant for a home.
I think it was a,
I can be wrong. I just don't, she's ordering me.
looks like Watkins lived there, and I don't know about Miss Dry. So anybody that doesn't live at the residence, you're not to have contact with. I can't.
But he can have contact with his.
Yeah, I mean, it'd be a little hard to do that unless I order and maintain separate residences. I'm not gonna do that, so, okay? Sorry. Yeah. it's fine.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right, please tell me your name.
Elias Martinez.
All right, do we know what, Ms. Himes? Okay, we'll reset within 24 hours of the release from hospital.
Your Honor, I believe that's a failure to appear. The public defender's already on the case and he has no bond.
Okay. So Carrie Himes is in the hospital, but 2019 CF 3577AO. This is a failure to appear capias. This bond is set at none. And
The PD will waive his
failure
appearance.
to appear for pretrial. The public defender is waiving the appearance, and the bond will stay at none, okay? So we will not reset that. All right, please tell me your name again.
Elias Martinez.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Martinez. You're here in 2019 CF 10776AO. You're arrested for driving while license suspended with 2 prior convictions and no motor vehicle registration. I do find probable cause. I am going to appoint the Public Defender's Office to represent you. You're not to drive without a valid license. I am going to place you in the pretrial release program, okay?
Thank
You need to make sure that you comply with all of their requirements. You don't miss any court dates. Keep in touch with your attorney, okay? If you don't comply then I can find out, or another judge, and hold you no bond, and I don't think you want that,
you. No,
okay?
thank you.
Good luck, sir.
All right, please tell me your name, sir.
Lyndon Huntley Smith.
All right, Mr. Smith. You're here in 2019 CF 10773AO. You're arrested for possession of cannabis with intent to sell or deliver, possession of cannabis more than 20 grams, and possession of MDMA. Do find probable cause. I am going to appoint the Public Defender's Office to represent you. You're not to possess or consume any illegal substances without a valid prescription. I'm going to stay the bond at 1,000 and 150 on each additional count. And you're out on bond for trafficking in meth and cocaine and cannabis and aggravated battery on a pregnant person. So in 2019 CF 9768AO and 2019 CF 4283AO, I'm revoking those bonds and setting them at none. And you do have attorneys, they can file any appropriate motions with regards to bond in those cases.
The two cases that are open, she's revoking the bond. You're gonna pay this bond because you're not gonna get any credit for time you got in. I will let your public defender know that the bond's got revoked. They're gonna have to get a motion from your trial judges in those cases. You're gonna hear about this. Good morning, sir.
All right, please tell me your name, sir.
Robbie Watkins.
All right, Mr. Watkins, you're here in 2019 CF 10755AO. You're arrested for possession of cannabis with intent to sell or deliver with a weapon, possession of tetrahydric cannabinols, and possession of cannabis more than 20 grams. I do find probable cause. I am going to appoint the public defender's office. You're not to possess or consume any illegal substances without a valid prescription. You're not to possess any weapons, any firearms, or any ammunition. I'm gonna set your bond on count 1 at $5,000 and count 2 $150 and count 3 $150.
Okay, sir.
All right, please tell me your name.
George Washington.
George Washington, all right. All right, Mr. Washington, you're here in 2019 CF 10533. You were arrested pursuant to a warrant in which probable cause was found for attempted burglary of a structure and criminal mischief as a subsequent offense. Looks like, says, the warrant says just criminal mischief, so I'm not sure about. So it's just criminal mischief. And I am gonna appoint the public defender's office to represent you. In that case, you cannot go back to 7-Eleven. Address. I don't know what the address is.
Is it on the attempted burglary or the burglary?
Yeah, it's the attempted 10533. I don't know if it's the 6325 Old Winter Garden Road, but that's the residential burglary.
Correct, Your Honor.
So I don't know what the address is.
We have one moment, see if I can, it's in our system already. The attempted one is not in our system. We just have the residential.
How about this? You're not to go back to any 7-Eleven. All right, and in 2000, I'm gonna stay the bonds in that case, the 500 on count 1, 100 on count 2. In 2019 CF 10770AO, you're arrested for burglary of an unoccupied dwelling and grand theft third degree. I do find probable cause. I am gonna appoint the PD in that case as well. Can't go back to 6325 Old Winter Garden Road. You can't have any contact with any victim or witness in the case. Your bond on count 1 is $3,500 and $150 on count 2.
Do you have any questions, sir?
All right, please tell me your name.
Michael Williams, ma'am.
All right, Mr. Williams, you're here in 2019 CF 10767AO. You're arrested for burglary of a conveyance and petty theft. I do find probable cause. I am going to appoint the public defender's office. You're not to have any contact with any listed victim or witness in the case. You're not to return back to that East Jefferson Street and Hill Avenue, that area, okay? And I'm gonna stay the bond at $3,500 on count 1, $100 on count 2.
Do you have any questions?
All right, please tell me your name.
Dory, right?
All right, Ms. Wright, you're here in 2019 CF 10757AO. You're arrested for burglary of a dwelling with an assault or battery with a weapon. Count 2 is battery, count 3 is petty theft. I do find probable cause. I am gonna appoint the public defender's office to represent you. State, do you wanna be heard as to bond on count 1?
Yes, Your Honor, this is a punishable by life felony. It looks like the victims were in the house watching a movie, heard someone at the door, while one of the, I guess, residents went to the door. The defendant then pushed her way into the house. She pushed the victim, Malik, and a fight took place. It looks like the victim, Tanishi, was able to get her phone or to call the police. The fight then went outside. Looks like this defendant took the keys of Mr. Soto's car. It looks like someone had a chain. I believe it may have been one of the victims. While the officers were able to interview this defendant, she did state that she reached for and got a lamp during the incident. Your Honor, I believe based on this information, the defendant should be held at no bond, no contact with any of the victims or witnesses, no return to that residence, no weapons, no firearms, no drugs, no alcohol.
Because right now you have a plea.
All right, Mr. Jordan.
Your Honor, right now we'll defer to the court. We believe this is better handled with further evidence in downtown, so. This is a punishable by life offense.
But they went somewhere call.
We would note, Your Honor, that she does not have any criminal history.
I'm looking at everything here and deciding what I wanna do. All right, Ms. Wright, you're not to have any contact with any victim, witness, or co-defendant, okay? Anyone mentioned in the report, so that includes the other individuals that were with you. Amari Wright, or White, excuse me. And Malik Payne. You're not to return back to the, and do you have any reason to go back to the Indigo Apartments?
No, ma'am.
Okay, you can't go back to the Indigo Apartments at 3057, I think UK Circle, specifically number 2840, but you can't go back to the Indigo Apartments. You're not to possess any weapons, any firearms, or any ammunition. All right, and I do find proof evident presumption great, however, I am gonna give you a bond. It's gonna be $100,000 on count one. Count two will be 100, and count three will be 100.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right, please tell me your name.
Griffin.
Okay. You're here in case number 2019 MO 1373. You were arrested for an open container violation. I do find probable cause. I'm going to appoint the public defender's office to represent you. Is there an offer?
Adjudication credit for time served of 2 days.
Get out today.
And
Your Honor, he
then-
does wish to accept the offer.
Okay, and then I do have to impose court costs. I'll give you a year to pay them off, okay?
And Your Honor, this will be a plea of no contest.
Okay. Thank you. All right, sir, I'm showing you this plea form. Is this your signature at the bottom?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, did you understand everything that's contained within the plea form?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you understand all the rights that you're giving up by entering the plea?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you on probation anywhere?
No, ma'am.
Okay, you understand if you're not a U.S. citizen, the plea will subject you to deportation? You understand? Yes, okay. All right, I do find a factual basis for acceptance of the plea based on the affidavit in the court file. I am gonna adjudicate you guilty, sentence you to 2 days in the Orange County Jail with credit for 2 days' time served. Do have to impose court costs. I'm gonna order you pay those by July 29th, 2020. If you'd like to appeal the judgment and sentence of the court, you must do so in writing within 30 days. If you cannot afford an attorney, one will be appointed for you, sir. All right, good luck to you. All right, please tell me your name.
Claude Harold.
All right, Mr. Harold, you're here in 2019 MO 1375. You were arrested for an open container violation. I do find probable cause. I am gonna appoint the PD to represent you. Do you wanna see if there's an offer and
We
resolve
have an
your
offer
case?
from the state, Your Honor.
Okay.
It's adjudication credit for time served of 2 days.
You on probation? Your Honor, he does wish to accept the offer and enter a plea of no contest.
Okay. Thank you. All right, Mr. Harold, I'm showing you this plea form. Is this your signature at the bottom, sir?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand everything that's contained within the plea form?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you understand all the rights you're giving up by entering the plea?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you on probation anywhere?
No, ma'am.
You understand if you're not a U.S. citizen, the plea will subject you to deportation?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. I do find a factual basis based on the affidavit in the court file to accept your plea. I'm gonna adjudicate you guilty, sentence you to 2 days in the Orange County Jail with credit for 2 days' time served. I do have to impose court costs. I'm gonna order you pay those by July 29th, 2020. If you want to appeal the judgment and sentence of the court, you must do so in writing within 30 days. If you cannot afford an attorney, one will be appointed for you, sir. Good luck to you, okay? Mr. Newsom,
Good morning, Your
you're
Honor.
back. We have to stop meeting like this, Mr. Newsom.
Yes, ma'am,
I
I agree.
know. You gotta find a better drinking place. You
I
keep
need to
coming ba-
stop.
I know. You keep coming back. I keep seeing you for the same thing. You're here in 2019 MO 1377. You were arrested for an open container violation, and I do find probable cause. Do you want to see what the estate's offer is and see?
Adjudication 5 days, credit for 2.
I would just like to plead guilty, please.
Yeah?
Accept the offer?
You want to accept the offer? All right.
And he wishes to plead guilty, but
Okay. Thank you. All right, Mr. Newsom. I'm showing you this plea form. Is this your signature at the bottom?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand everything contained within the plea form?
Yes,
Do you
ma'am.
understand all the rights you're giving up by entering the plea?
I do, ma'am.
And I don't think you're on probation, but just make sure you're not on probation, right?
No, ma'am.
Okay. You understand if you're not a U.S. citizen, this plea will subject you to deportation?
Yes.
Okay. I do find a factual basis for acceptance of the plea. Based on the affidavit, I am going to adjudicate you guilty, sentence you to 5 days in the Orange County Jail with credit for 2 days' time served. I do have to impose court costs. I'm going to order you pay those by July 29, 2020. If you want to appeal the judgment and sentence of the court, you must do so in writing within 30 days. If you cannot afford an attorney, one will be appointed for you. I hope that you can get some help, Mr. Newsom.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Okay.
Yes,
Best of
ma'am.
luck to you.
Thank you, ma'am.
All right, please tell me your name, sir.
Anthony Towns.
All right, Mr. Towns, you're here in 2019 MO 1378. You're arrested for an open container violation. I do find probable cause, and you did not fill out a form for the public defender. Do you want to see if the state has an offer for you?
Yes.
Okay,
Adjudication, credit for time served, 2 days.
and I would have to impose court costs, so you would get out today. I'll give you a year to pay the court costs off,
Okay.
okay?
All right.
are you
No.
on probation?
Mm-mm.
Do you have any questions?
Mm-mm.
Get out today.
Thank you.
Thank
She's just gonna,
All right, Mr. Towns, I'm showing you this plea form. Is this your signature at the bottom?
Uh-huh.
Is that a yes?
Yes.
I need you to answer yes or no, okay?
Yes.
So, did you understand everything contained within the plea form?
Yes.
Did you understand all the rights you're giving up by entering the plea?
Yeah.
Are you on probation anywhere?
No.
Okay. You understand if you're not a U.S. citizen, the plea will subject you to deportation?
Okay.
You understand?
Yes.
Okay. I do find a factual basis for acceptance of the plea based on the affidavit in the court file. I am going to adjudicate you guilty, sentence you to 2 days in the Orange County Jail with credit for 2 days' time served. I do have to impose court costs. I'm going to order you pay those by July 29, 2020. That gives you a year to pay them off. If you
Okay.
want to appeal the judgment and sentence of the court, you must do so in writing within 30 days. If you cannot afford an attorney, one will be appointed for you, sir. Good luck to you.
Okay.
All right, please tell me your name, sir.
Joseph Wink.
All right, Mr. Wink, you're here in 2019 MO 1379. You're arrested for disorderly conduct. I do find probable cause. I am going to appoint the public defender's office. Was there an offer for Mr. Wink?
Adjudication, credit for time served, 2 days.
And then I would have to impose court costs. Get out today.
Thank you.
You want to accept the offer?
He does-
ma'am.
He does
Okay.
wish to accept the offer and enter a plea of no contest. Any questions, sir?
No.
Mr. Wank, I'm showing you this plea form. Is this your signature at the bottom?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand everything contained within the plea form?
Yes,
You
ma'am.
understand all the rights you're giving up by entering the plea?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you on probation anywhere?
No, ma'am.
You understand if you're not a U.S. citizen, the plea will subject you to deportation?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. I do find a factual basis based on the affidavit in the court file to accept your plea. I am going to adjudicate you guilty, sentence you to 2 days in the Orange County Jail with credit for 2 days' time served. I do have to impose court costs. I'm going to order that you pay those by July 29, 2020. That gives you a year to pay them off. If you want to appeal the judgment and sentence of the court, you must do so in writing within 30 days. If you cannot afford an attorney, one will be appointed for you. All right, good luck to
Thank you.
All right, please tell me your name.
My name is Jalil Williamson.
All right, Mr. Williamson, you're here in 2019 CO 836. You were arrested for soliciting without a permit. I do find probable cause. I am going to appoint the public defender's office to represent you. Looks like you also have a notice to appear for, I think the same thing.
Yes, sir.
I don't know if there's a global offer to resolve both. I think the notice to appear is for
Tomorrow.
30th, yeah. So do you want
That's
to?
It's a city case. Is the other one a city or state case?
It is a city ordinance.
So the city, I would not have an offer because I wouldn't know what the city.
I mean, we all know what the offer is.
That may be, state's not gonna make it, because I've not communicated with the
Okay.
city about it.
So, Mr. Williamson, I don't know what the state's offer is today, but hopefully if you get out today, then you'll make your court date tomorrow.
Correct, the offer in the state in
Yes.
this case is an adjudication credit for time served 2 days.
Okay,
We're done.
so I can't resolve your other case today,
The
so,
only suggestion I would be is, I can try to reach out to Mr. McKee to see if he'll respond by 1. I just don't know if, I don't.
okay, why
know
don't we
if he'll
do that? We'll take this plea, and then if you want to resolve the other case too?
Well, if I get out today, I could just go to court tomorrow.
I know, okay, but
Can I
if-
do that? That's
you
what I
can-
want to
if
do.
that's what you want to do?
That's
Okay.
what he wants to do.
I'm trying to help you avoid a trip to court.
No, I want to go
Because
from the
something always
streets.
happens on the way to court.
No.
Okay,
no.
I just want to make sure.
Thank you so
I
much,
don't
Your
want
Honor.
you to not get to court.
Yes.
He only
Okay.
has one failure to appear back in 2015.
Okay,
so-
but you know, things always happen when people are on their way to court. So
What the
I
judge
just
is
want to
offering
make
is
sure.
We'll recall this
So
at
you
one
said it
and
was an
see if we can
adjudication?
Get the city
Okay,
to
credit for time
respond
served? Okay.
Yes,
with an offer for credit time
Alright.
served.
I'm not going to take action on it, just don't miss your court date. It's at 1 PM.
Yes, they're gonna take their time, but you're gonna get out.
Oh, I know that part. Thanks.
It's at 1 PM downtown, room 250,
Tomorrow, right? The 30th.
tomorrow.
All right.
250.
I was
room-
aware of that already.
I don't want you to miss your court
I
date.
won't, Your
okay?
Honor. I swear that. Thank you.
Okay. All right, Mr. Williamson, I'm showing you this plea form. Is this your signature at the bottom?
I see.
Is that your signature?
Yes, it
All right.
is.
Did you understand everything contained within the plea form?
Yes.
Do you understand all the rights you're giving up by entering the plea?
Yes.
Are you on probation anywhere?
No.
All right, you understand if you're not a U.S. citizen, the plea will subject you to deportation?
I understand.
Okay. I do find a factual basis for acceptance of the plea based on the affidavit in the court file. I am going to adjudicate you guilty, sentence you to 2 days in the Orange County Jail with credit for 2 days' time served. And I do have to impose court costs. I'm going to give you a year to pay them off. You're going to pay them off by July 29th, 2020, okay?
Yes.
If you want to appeal the judgment and sentence of the court, you must do so in writing within 30 days. If you cannot afford an attorney, one will be appointed for you. Okay, sir?
Yes,
So
thanks.
don't miss court.
I won't. Thank you.
Okay. All right. Please tell me your name.
April Bright.
All right, Miss Bright, you're here. You were picked up on an out-of-county warrant out of Seminole County. And the judge in that case set your bond at none on each count. And so Seminole County has 24 hours to come and pick you up pursuant to our administrative order, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. All right, please tell me your name.
Brentley Skiles.
All right, Mr. Skiles, you're here. You were picked up on an out-of-county warrant out of Leon County. And the judge in that case set your bond at none. And so we have Leon County has 72 hours pursuant to our admin order to come and pick you up. So if they don't come and pick you up in that time frame, then you'll come back before a judge here, okay?
And then what will happen?
Then, well, the statute says a reasonable amount of time, so we'll see what communication's been going on with Leon County, because I don't ever know until somebody comes back before me,
Okay.
okay?
Yes, ma'am.
All right?
Thank you.
All right, please tell me your name.
Ezra White.
All right, Mr. White, you were picked up on an out-of-county warrant out of Osceola County. And the judge in that case set your bond on counts 1 and 2 at $2,500 each and count 3 at $1,500. So your total bond is $6,500. And, so Osceola has, 24 hours to come and pick you up. If you can bond out, you can bond out, okay?
Do you know, like, if the bond was revoked or not? Because
You have a bond, I just told you, your total bond is $6,500. So if you can bond out, then you can bond out. If not, Osceola will have 24 hours to come and pick you up. My guess is they will pick you up if you can't bond out, okay?
I appreciate it.
Okay, I'll reset Mr. Jones. Looks like it's been reset twice. Mr. Jordan, this has been reset twice over the weekend. It's a bat Leo, so I'm gonna call the case and point you. 2019 CF 10691AO. Mr. Jones was arrested for battery on a law enforcement officer. I do find probable cause, and I am gonna appoint the public defender's office to represent him. Do you wanna waive his appearance, Mr. Jordan?
Yes, we'll waive
Okay.
his appearance today.
And so I'm gonna set the bond at he's already in custody on other charges anyway, but I'm gonna set the bond at 2,500, okay?
Yes.
No weapons, no firearms, no ammunition, and no contact with the victim.
I believe he's being held no bond on a VOP.
Okay. Well, he has a bond in this case.
Joy.
Did y'all receive a bond correction form for Cacopoulos? No, you didn't get any bond correction forms? No.
I don't think so. I'd have to look at the paperwork, but I usually see it.
But you said the bond.
The PD's provided the court with the orders, 2019 MM 5342AO or Lessa Dixon.
That should be denied. The state filed an information and request a transfer from felony to, misdemeanor to felony on 7/24.
That will be denied. (2019) CF 9044AO Brandon Matthew Bryant.
That should be denied. The state filed an information on 7/26.
That will be denied.
Good afternoon, Your Honor. The Spanish interpreter is on the line.
Okay, thank you. We're just finishing up we have like some 33-day motions, so it'll be 2 seconds. 2019 CF 8839AO Brian Jamil Jones.
To be denied. The state filed an information on 7/26.
That will be denied. 2019 CF 9099AO Charles Nelson.
That should be granted. The state filed a notice of non-filing for the 33rd day.
That will be granted. And one more, 19 CF 9156AO Crystal Harvey.
That should be denied. The state filed an information and a request to transfer from felony to misdemeanor on 7/25.
All right. That will be denied. Okay. All right. And then we do have the interpreter on the line. Have you been sworn in?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, thank you. morning, or good afternoon, sir. Can you tell me your name?
Elias Perez.
Elias Perez Diaz.
All right, Mr. Perez Diaz, you're here in two cases, 2019 CT 5592AO. You were arrested for driving without a valid driver's license, and I do find probable cause for that offense. I am going to appoint the Public Defender's Office to represent you. You're not to drive without a valid license. Your bond will stay set at $500 in that case. In 2019 CT 5593AO, you're arrested for driving under the influence with damage to property or person of another. And I do find probable cause for that offense. I am going to appoint the Public Defender's Office to represent you. In that case, you're not to possess or consume any illegal substances without a valid prescription. You're not to possess or consume any alcohol. And you're not to drive without a valid driver's license. And your bond will stay set at $1,000. Was there a third case?
I just have two.
Okay, the affidavit for insolvency had, looked like, or maybe that's, okay, maybe that's just his booking number. Okay, had 3 numbers on it. Okay,
And I'm sorry, Your Honor, what was the bond in the first case?
it's 500 and then 1,000 on the other case.
Thank you, Your Honor.
And no contact with any victims or witnesses, okay?
Does the defendant have any questions?
No.
No.
Okay, thank you.
Mr. Gonzalez Rodriguez is medical, Your Honor.
Okay, we'll reset him.
So we have courtroom 2 tomorrow, Your Honor?
Okay, and that, just for purposes of the interpreter, that was 2019 CF 10733AO, and that should be reset in courtroom 2 tomorrow due to the need for the interpreter. Thank you. All right, please tell me your name, sir.
Francisco Javier Romero Cruz.
Francisco Javier Romero Cruz.
All right, Mr. Romero Cruz, you're here in case number 2019 CF 10784AO. You're arrested for possession of cocaine. I do find probable cause, and I'm being advised that you do not qualify for the Public Defender's Office. So let me go through that with you real quick here. Do you work, sir?
Sí.
Yes.
And do you get paid weekly, bi-weekly, monthly?
Semanal.
Weekly.
And how much do you get paid after taxes?
Como 400 y algo.
About 400 and some.
$400?
No. 400 y varía, mamá. 420, 30, no.
Well, 400, but it varies. It could be 420, 430.
Okay, so here, whoever filled this out put $2,000. So
Difference.
that's a big difference. So you're saying you get around $400 per week after taxes?
Correcto.
Okay.
Correct.
Okay, I'm gonna put $400, and you have 5 dependents?
No, yo no.
No?
No.
Yo creo que es en el papel mío.
Oh, this is the wrong PD form.
I think that's not my application.
Okay, it is not. I was looking at somebody else's. I'm sorry. So you do qualify for the public defender.
Sí, doctor.
And I have your correct form, and it has exactly what you told me, so thank you. I do find that you qualify for the Public Defender's Office, and I am going to appoint them to represent you. in both cases. The other case is 2019 CT 5598AO. And so for the possession of cocaine, you're not to possess or consume any illegal substances without a valid prescription. I am gonna stay the bond at the $1,000. And in 2019 CT 5598AO, you're arrested for no valid driver's license. There's probable cause for that. I am gonna appoint the PD, as I said, and I'm gonna stay the bond at the 500. You can't drive without a valid license, okay?
And Your Honor, he currently has an ICE hold.
Okay, and so now I did not have that on my form here, so I do have to advise you, Mr. Romero Cruz, that you do have an immigration hold. So, you'll want to speak with your attorneys about that, okay? Let me just check that box, right? Defendant has been advised of the immigration detainee. Yeah, they added it, yeah. I'm not sure which one it is, but it's for both cases.
Well, I don't know. How is it that I have an immigration court date?
You have a hold, a detainer. So you'll need to speak with your attorneys about that.
What does that mean?
It means that they can hold you here for
Yes. they're holding.
immigration, for ICE, to come and get you if they decide that they want to come and get you. If you're not here legally.
Even if you bond, they could hold you for a
Yes.
few days for ICE to interview you.
So even if you bond out, they're still gonna hold you. So I just have to advise you of that. I have no control over any of that, okay? Okay? All right, now I have the right person. All right, please tell me your name, sir.
Julian Salas Jacobo.
Julian Salas Jacobo.
Okay, Mr. Salas, you are here in case number 2019 MM6280AO. You're arrested for battery, domestic violence. I do find probable cause, and this is the form that you filled out. I'm being advised that you do not qualify for the public defender, so let me go over it with you, okay? Do you work, sir?
Sí.
Yes.
Where do you work?
House of Lord. Sí, yo trabajo en una compañía poniendo piso.
Yes, I work for a company installing floors, House of Lord.
Okay, and then do you get paid weekly, bi-weekly, or monthly?
Semanal.
Weekly.
And then how much do you make a week on your paycheck after taxes?
2000, mucho varía. 2000, 1800.
Well, 2,000, it varies a lot. It could be 2,000, 1,800.
Okay, and then do you have 5 children under the age of 18?
No. No,
No.
nomás tengo 3. Somos 5 en total viviendo en la casa.
No, I only have 3 children, but there's 5 of us living in the same household.
Okay. Okay, so if he made 1,800 a week with 4 dependents? No, okay. You're not gonna qualify for the public defender, so I can't appoint them to represent you, okay, sir? You're gonna have to contact an attorney. I believe that we do have a witness here. Ms. Kenny Swanson, do you know if she needs the services of the interpreter as well?
do not
Haven't
know.
spoken with her? Okay, all right. Ma'am, do you understand any English? No. Okay, do you need the interpreter? Okay, all right. Madam Interpreter, could you please interpret for the victim as well?
Of course, Your Honor.
Thank you. Can you tell me your name, ma'am?
Señora, ¿me dice su nombre, por favor?
María Toledo Fuentes.
María Toledo Fuentes.
Okay, can you raise your right hand to be sworn in?
Levante la mano derecha, señora, para prestar juramento.
Do you swear to tell the truth, whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
¿Jura usted decir la verdad, toda la verdad y nada más que la verdad? ¿Lo jura ante Dios?
Sí.
Yes.
Is there anything that you want to tell me, ma'am?
¿Usted quería decir algo, señora?
Pues realmente no mucho porque no sé qué decir realmente.
Well, really not much because I don't know what to tell you.
Okay, do you want to have contact with Mr. Salas?
¿Usted desea tener contacto con el señor Salas?
Pues realmente por los niños, ellos están muy, como quiera, ellos están muy apegados a él.
Well, honestly, because of the children, because they're actually really close to him.
Okay. Were it not for the children, would you want to have contact with him?
Si no fuera por los niños, señora, ¿usted quisiera tener contacto con él? No.
Okay. Are you in fear?
¿Usted le teme a él?
¿Perdón?
I'm sorry.
Are you in fear of him?
¿Usted le teme a él, señora?
No.
No.
Okay. Has anything like this happened in the past?
¿Algo parecido a este incidente había ocurrido en el pasado?
Sí.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Thank you for your testimony, okay?
Gracias por su testimonio, señora.
Mr. Salas, I'm not going to allow you to have contact with the victim in the case. And so I'm going to have you sign the no contact order form. Make sure that you've read it and that you understand it. And then if you could just interpret that for the victim as well.
Of course, Your Honor.
Thank you.
Señor, se le prohíbe el contacto con la víctima. Usted tendrá que firmar el formulario de prohibición de contacto y tiene que asegurarse de haberlo leído y de haberlo entendido.
And could you please inform him as well not to talk about any facts of the case?
All right, Mr. Salas, did you understand everything that was contained within the no contact order form that you signed? Is that a yes? You need to speak up loud.
Yes.
Okay. And so I'm also ordering that you're to maintain separate residences, so you're not to have any contact directly or indirectly with the victim, okay? You're to maintain separate residences, you're not to possess any alcohol or consume any alcohol or any illegal substances without a valid prescription. Do you understand? Is that a yes?
Sí. Sí.
Yes, okay.
Yes.
And you're not to possess any weapons, any firearms, or any ammunition, okay? I am gonna set your bond at $1,000. All right? And if you could also translate that for the victim as well, so she understands. So there'll be separate residences, no contact, no weapons or firearms, no alcohol or drugs, and his bond is $1,000.
Señora, a él se le prohíbe vivir en la misma casa que usted. Tendrán que vivir en moradas independientes. Se le prohíbe todo tipo de contacto con usted, ya sea directo o indirecto. Se le prohíbe el consumo de alcohol y de drogas ilegales. Se le prohíbe la tenencia de armas, armas de fuego y municiones. Y además su fianza se fija en cantidad de $1,000.
Okay? All right, thank you for your testimony. All right, thank you, sir.
Gracias, señora, por su testimonio.
Thank you.
All right, and I don't think we have any more interpreter cases.
Thank you, Your
Thank
Honor.
you
Have a
so
good
much.
afternoon.
You too. All right, good afternoon, sir. Please tell me your name.
My name is Chad Armstrong.
All right, Mr. Armstrong, you're here in case number 2019 CF 107888AO You're arrested for possession of a controlled substance without a valid prescription. I do find probable cause, and I am gonna appoint the Public Defender's Office to represent you. You're not to possess or consume any illegal substances without a valid prescription, and I am gonna stay the bond at $1,000. All right, please tell me your name.
Danielle Dunlap.
All right, Ms. Dunlap, you're here in 2019 CF 10781AO. You're arrested for battery on a law enforcement officer. I do find probable cause. I am gonna appoint the Public Defender's Office to represent you. You were also arrested in 2019 CF 10782AO, and you were arrested for criminal mischief over $1,000. I do find probable cause, and I'm gonna appoint the Public Defender's Office to represent you in that case. You're not to have any contact with any victim or witness in the case. You're not, in either case, you're not to possess any weapons, any firearms, or any ammunition. Your bond on the battery on the law enforcement officer is $2,500, and your bond on the criminal mischief is $1,000. I don't know if I said it, no weapons, no firearms, no ammunition, no contact with any victim or witness. And it looks like you're in the pretrial diversion program with the state attorney's office for battery. My guess is that you're gonna be rejected from that program and put back on the docket. I'm not gonna take any action on that today, because you're in the program, but my guess is that you won't be soon. So just make sure you keep in touch with your attorney in that case, okay? All right, please tell me your name.
Angelique Monica Hazley.
All right, Ms. Hazley, you're here in 2019 CF 10787AO. You're arrested for possession of MDMA, ecstasy, and tampering with physical evidence. I do find probable cause. I am gonna appoint the Public Defender's Office to represent you. You're not to possess or consume any illegal substances without a valid prescription.
Your Honor, I did speak with the state beforehand. I had a slight objection to count 2. Tampering with physical evidence. This is another discard of an object is not tantamount to tampering with evidence when she did not attempt to destroy, swallow, or otherwise tamper with the evidence. The officer simply claimed she discarded the evidence near her person.
Said no objection to RORs to count 2, Your Honor.
There's still PC for count 1, which is the felony.
The statement was that she was attempting to conceal it
Yes.
while holding it. Isn't that
No.
attempting to conceal it?
I
Just throwing out is different, I think.
It's very different. I have provided case law in the past.
Right, but that's when somebody's tossing something.
Right, she attempted to conceal it, tossed it, but if it was able to be found or ditched it from a car, as long as the car was not moving, as long as it was able to be found by officers, that goes to show it was not in itself
I don't think that's
concealed.
what the case law says, as long as it was able to be found, but okay, I don't think that's what the case
I'm
law
not sure.
says, Mr. Jordan. But I will find no PC on count 2. but I think that the case law says something different. So as for count one, you're not to possess or consume any illegal substances without a valid prescription. Your bond on count one will be $1,000 or RORU on count two.
Do you have any questions?
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, please tell me your name.
Jessica James.
All right, Ms. James, you're here in 2019 CF 3675AO, and the state did file an information in this case charging you with robbery with a deadly weapon, and that is in F1 punishable by life felony. Probable cause was previously found by a warrant, and the state did file charges. Does she, I think this is a refile?
Yes, Your
Does she
Honor.
have the
Previously,
PD?
no prost in
Okay,
court.
did she have the PD?
Yes, the public defender represents her in the case.
Okay, well, it was no prost, so now,
And then they refiled.
right, so
And
now
then the
we
warrant
have
was
to, I'll
issued
have
based
to
on that.
reappoint you to the case.
Oh, I see.
Because the case was closed, so
Okay.
now I'm gonna reappoint the public defender's office based on the prior representation by the public defender. And state, do you want to be heard as to
Can I have a
bond?
moment, Your Honor?
Sure. I can't change the bond, but it's a PBL, so.
You know, I'm trying to see what the original conditions are released
Right.
originally before it was no.
Yeah.
I believe the warrant affidavit says $5,000
Well, there's
may
a-
be altered
the
by.
The capias, by the information, I can't change a capias under the law. So there's a warrant that was already, that was the original PC for the charge initially, way back when she was initially
Well,
arrested.
I'm just pointing out it is $5,000 right now.
Right, that's the capias. The she was arrested, charged, and information was filed, then it was no prost, and now they've now refiled the information. And the judge in that case determined $5,000 was appropriate, even though it's a punishable by life felony. So I don't think that I can change that.
That's what I'm trying to say.
So,
I'm just trying to see what the other conditions, on people's things.
Yeah.
I'm trying to pull up the first things.
gets a little confusing when the state refiles something, a capias has to be issued or a summons. But if it's a felony, it's usually a capias because they have to be arrested. So the original initial appearance was held on March 17th, 2019. And there were no conditions of release. So based on the capias, and it looks like, I don't know what judge signed it. I'm gonna stay that bond because I can't change that. I don't think it's anything on there that says that I can. And so no contact, it does say no contact with any victim, co-defendant or witness. I don't know the facts of the case, so, that will be imposed, as well as no weapons or firearms or ammunition, okay? So make sure that you keep in touch with the public defender's office, you don't miss any court dates, okay?
You're in jail.
I know, but if I go to the detention.
Yeah, trying to see the signature of the judge, and I can't.
I can't read it, I don't know who signed it.
It looks like it's with the M, but July 19th probably would be Judge McGinnis, just based on who would have had it at that time. Who would have had warrant signing.
Yep, just no weapons, firearms, or ammunition, no contact with the victim or any witness, okay? And just make sure you keep in touch with your attorneys. All right, please tell me your name.
Jahaziah Johnson.
All right, Mr. Johnson, you're here in 2019 CF 10786AO. You're arrested for resisting an officer without violence and possession of cocaine. I do find probable cause, and I am gonna appoint the public defender. You can't possess or consume any illegal substances without a valid prescription. The bonds will stay set at 1,000 on count one, or excuse me, 100 on count one, 1,000 on count two.
Yes, ma'am.
Sir, do you have any questions? Yeah, priors.
Thank you, Judge.
All right, have a good day. All right, please tell me your name.
Jonathan Jones.
All right, Mr. Jones, you're here in 2016 CF 8090AO. It's a violation of probation pursuant to a warrant. The judge in that case set your bond at none. I am going to appoint the public defender's office in that case, as well as the other two BOPs. 2017 CF 1012AO. And that was also a warrant for a violation of probation. Your bond is none in that case. In 2016 CF 8621AO, also a warrant pursuant to a violation of probation. And I've appointed the PD to represent you in all three cases. You should be seen by Judge Whitehead in a week to 10 days, could be a little sooner, okay? All right, please tell me your name.
Martins Mattel.
All right, Mr. Mattel, you're here in case number 2019 CF 10605AO, and you were arrested pursuant to a warrant in which probable cause was found for grand theft, third degree, burglary of a conveyance, and trafficking in stolen property. And I am gonna appoint the public defender's office to represent you. You're not to return back to 3029 Daniels Road, the LA Fitness, or have any contact with any listed victim or witness in the case. And I'm gonna stay the bond. Count one is 150, count two is 3,500, and count three is 150. And I'm not taking any action on your out on bond case because it's the reverse of, this is alleged to have occurred before, or excuse me, the new law, your out on bond offense occurred after this offense.
After the allegations in this offense?
Yeah.
Yes, Your Honor. Thank you. Thank you, Your Honor. Mr. Smith.
Pacheco Smith is a refusal, Your Honor.
Okay.
We're gonna state a request that the bond be stayed on the paraphernalia of 6286, and the other no bonds be stayed as is. It looks like she has a number of mental health out on bond cases as well. So this is gonna be a competency.
I think 5283. All right, so 2018 CF 5823AO, Ms. Smith was arrested pursuant to a capias for failing to appear for a status hearing, and looks like maybe Judge Cast in Division 20. The capias says defendant to be brought back in front of judge on the next business day after arrest. So my guess is that he's been advised of that. If not, Mr. Jordan, you need to have your office notify the judge. My guess is there's a flag, and he's probably been notified of that.
I will be in contact with the public
Okay.
defender on this case.
All right, so the bonds in that case are set at none. I believe she has the PD in that case. Yes. And then 2017 CF 11484AO. That's also a capias for failing to appear. Same notation by, I believe, Judge Cass, that she's to be brought back before him on the next business day after arrest. The bonds are both set at none. And then there's a new law violation 2019 MM6286AO. I'm gonna appoint the Public Defender's Office to represent her. Mr. Jordan, do you wanna waive her appearance?
Yes, Your Honor. We'll waive her appearance as to the new law violation.
All right, so, I do find probable cause for possession of drug paraphernalia. She's not to possess or consume any illegal substances. I am gonna stay the bond at the $500. I'm not gonna take any action on the out on release. There's multiple cases. Some are bond, some are ROR, some are just open, so I'm not gonna take any action on those today. All right. All right, please tell me your name, sir.
William Antonio Smith.
Okay, Mr. Smith. You're here in 2019 CF 9255AO. You were arrested pursuant to a warrant for a violation of pretrial release. And the judge in that case has set your bond at none, and I am gonna, I think the PD's already appointed in that case.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, but I'll appoint them if they haven't been appointed. And your bond is set at none on each count. So the PDs can file any appropriate motions with regards to bond in front of Judge LeBlanc, okay? All right, please tell me your name, sir.
Squan Turman?
Turman?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. All right, Mr. Turman, you're here in 2019 CF 10783AO. You're arrested for driving while license suspended with 2 prior convictions. And I do find probable cause. I am gonna appoint the Public Defender's Office to represent you. You're not to drive without a valid license, and the bond will stay set at $2,500. They've also filed a on-view violation of probation based on this new law offense out of Volusia County. And so I do find probable cause for that, and your bond will be set at none in that case.
Okay, sir. Do you have any questions? Thank you, Your Honor.
All right, please tell me your name.
Your name, sir?
Daryl Dents.
Is that a Steve? Okay. All right, Mr. Demps, you're here in 2 cases, 2019 CT 5604AO. You're arrested for driving without a valid driver's license. I do find probable cause. I am gonna appoint the PD to represent you. In 2019 MM6290AO, you're arrested for resisting an officer without violence. I do find probable cause. And I am gonna appoint the Public Defender's Office to represent you. I don't know if the state will have any offers today based on facts or, sorry?
There is no offer, Your Honor.
So I'm gonna stay the bond on the resisting at $500. I'm gonna stay the bond on the driving while license, or no valid driver's license at $500. You cannot drive without a valid license.
And Your Honor, he has an open case.
Oh, I was like, where is that coming from?
I had the same feeling.
Okay.
He does have a trial date, but it is set in December.
I'm just interested to see the facts of that case. I am going to revoke the bond in 2018 MM 5053A. You are represented. They can file any appropriate motions with regards to bond for you.
Your Honor, he has no prior convictions, and these two cases are separated by a lengthy portion of time.
Well, he was rejected from pretrial diversion because he couldn't comply with that. He's now out on bond in resisting, 2 counts of resisting, picks up another resisting, and the facts of this new resisting, I don't really like. So.
I didn't resist at all. We had the
Sorry, sir, I would not talk about the facts of your case. But you're driving without a valid license, and then you are resisting, and I found probable cause for that offense, so I am revoking the bond.
That means you're being held no bond until you see how your trial judge.
All right, please tell me your name, sir.
Run.
All right, did Mr. Meja Velasquez bond out? There was a bond correction sheet, but I'm not. 1902268. I just had a bond correction sheet, so I wasn't sure who bonded out. Okay. We'll take no action on that. You, Mr. Wren? Yeah? Okay. Mr. Wren, you're here in 2019 CT 913AA. You're arrested for driving while license suspended. I do find probable cause. I am going to appoint the public defender's office to represent you.
Does the state have an offer in this case?
I don't think they're gonna have an offer today. I don't see any priors. But you've had your license suspended. I don't think you've had it reinstated since 2005.
I've only had.
Well, I wouldn't talk about the facts of your case, but, and I'm showing. So based on the history, I'm just gonna impose the bond, the $500 bond. You can't drive without a valid license.
Remember, we can get our arm.
Not with your history. I mean, you have.
Okay.
Failure to appear in 2017, 4 felonies, 9 misdemeanors. Your last conviction was a violation of a domestic injunction on June 6, 2019. I'm not gonna ROR you.
Thank you.
All right, please tell me your name, sir.
John Beluso.
Mr. Beluso, you're here in 2019 MM 514AA. You're arrested for providing false identification to law enforcement. I do find probable cause. I am gonna appoint the public defender's office to represent you. Don't know if the state has an offer,
Adjudication credit for time served, 2 days.
so I won't take any action on your out on release case. I think you've got something coming up. But you did miss your court date, so I don't know, I looked at it and I don't see anything, I just see your trial is set, which already passed. So I don't know what's going on with that case, so I can't tell you if you have an upcoming court date. So you did have trial management conference on June or July 3rd, and there was an order that you had to be there. So I know you, based on the facts of what happened here, that chances are you probably missed that. I don't know what happened, and then July 8th was your trial date, so I don't know what happened there either, but I would get in touch with your attorneys and find out, because if you miss a trial date, there's just nothing in the system that tells me whether or not any capias was issued or anything like that. So, if you want to take the state's offer today, I'm not going to take any action on your out on release case because I don't know what's going on with it.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, Your
You
Honor.
want to take the offer?
I will
Okay.
take the offer, thank you.
Was the PD appointed in this case?
Yes.
Any questions? Yeah. Thank you.
It'll save everybody a whole lot of trouble if you just tell people your real name.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
You didn't even have a warrant.
I know.
Okay.
Yeah, thank you, Your Honor.
All right, Mr. Beluso, just make sure you find out what's going on with your case, because I can't tell you. I don't know, okay?
I will.
All right, I'm showing you this plea form. Is this your signature at the bottom?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand everything contained within the plea form?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you understand all the rights you're giving up by entering the plea?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you on probation anywhere?
No, ma'am.
You understand if you're not a U.S. citizen, the plea will subject you to deportation?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. I do find a factual basis for acceptance of the plea based on the affidavit in the court file. I am gonna adjudicate you guilty, sentence you to, is it 2 days? 2 days in the Orange County Jail with credit for 2 days' time served. I do have to impose court costs. I'm gonna order you pay those by July 29th, 2020. That gives you a year to pay them off. If you want to appeal the judgment and sentence of the court, you must do so in writing within 30 days. If you cannot afford an attorney, one will be appointed for you. And just make sure you find out what's going on with your case. Maybe Mr. Jordan has some notes in his system or something. I don't know.
Okay.
Okay. The stack system doesn't have any notes. Do we know, is there any notes in your system? What, if there's any new trial date or?
I'm gonna let his attorney know that he recently got picked up and they have contact information, but
There's just, his
there's
trial
no
date
information.
passed and there's nothing in there
Nothing.
since then. So I don't know if it's just slipped through the cracks or,
He was excused, I don't know.
but last thing he needs is a
According to my
capias.
notes, capias was issued.
A capias was issued?
Capias was issued on 7/3.
Okay, so I don't know.
Well, not properly.
So it probably
They
has,
might
it's just a matter
serve
of
you.
has not
Yeah,
been
he hasn't been served with it yet.
processed.
Yeah, it's,
At 7/3?
yeah, that's like 20-something days. So,
So a few months from now when it gets issued,
it's
we'll-
not in, it's not in the clerk
That's what's
system.
gonna happen.
Yeah, it's not in the, that's what I'm concerned about, is that he's gonna get out and then go and he's gonna get picked up on a capias again.
You're better off probably setting a motion to quash capias with the with the APD that he has.
Yeah, that's why I won't.
Okay? So,
It means they intended to issue a warrant for his arrest.
because obviously the cop didn't see, there's nothing in the clerk system. So
yes.
technically he was right, you do have a capias. It's just nobody knows about it.
They can take steps. So for now, you can
All right, anything else? Nope. Anything? Going, gone. We'll be in recess until tomorrow.